So essentially, a courtship is a relationship or a partnership between two people which would end in either marriage or just end, a breakup. Courtship period is the time between when a couple gets engaged or roka-fied, as they say, and the wedding. So the time between you know and you officially announce, officially announce to the world that you're getting married, to the actual wedding and when you're married. However, in nowadays in arranged marriage setups, a couple is introduced and then they sort of take their time to decide if they want to get married or not. In this case also, they are courting and not dating, because the crucial difference between courting and dating is that while dating is sort of open-ended, you can, casually date for a while and call it off, or keep casually dating, or, seriously date each other and never get married. You even have the option of living in together but not get married. Marriage is not the end goal. It's not, either a marriage or you call it quits, which is the case in a courtship. Most often a courtship is arranged, but sometimes a couple that's been dating for a while will also enter the courtship period, which is that they decide that they want to get married and they sort of build up to the wedding. And for whatever reason, if that doesn't work out, they may then decide to call it off. So essentially, a courtship is a relationship or a partnership between two people which would end in either marriage or just end, a breakup. The courtship period, especially in arranged relationships or marriages, is super important for the couple, for them to get to know each other and to really start developing a deep bond that will see them through their marriage. How do you make the best of a courtship period? Number one, ask the family to step back. There has to be serious, solid boundaries from get-go. You need your time. You need your time with your partner. You need your time away from, your family asking you all the time, kya socha, kaisa chal raha hai, all of that. It's cute, it's great. Of course, they're also excited about your relationship and your impending marriage, but you need your time just with each other and you need your space. This is especially important in cases where you've been introduced and you're taking the time to decide if you want to get married to each other or not. And while you do that, you don't want to go home every day to your parents asking you kya socha. So just tell them that you need your time, and whatever thoughts you have, you will come up to them and tell them yourself, and they don't need to keep asking you all the time. Number two, go on diverse dates. Don't make your dates monotonous. It's all very well to have that one place, that one restaurant, that one bar that feels familiar, and you just go and hang out there every time you meet. That's fine, but tons of studies suggest that the more diverse experiences that you share with each other, the deeper your bond becomes. And it's all the better if these experiences are new. So if neither you nor your partner has ever gone bungee jumping, do it together for the first time. These new experiences, they really bring us closer to each other. But even if they're not novel experiences and you're just doing things together in different situations, different kind of things, you'll really get to know each other, know the other person, and you learn how they behave in different situations. So say if you go bowling and they're losing, you learn what kind of a loser they are, or how competitive they can be. So all these insights you will not get by just talking. Plus, it's fun. It's fun to do different things, right? Number three, get to know each other's friends and family. Of course, this is a whole lifelong process, but getting to know other people in their life will give you an insight into who they are. So hang out with their friends and family, but at the same time, you have to strike that balance between boundaries and maintaining, that space that's just for the two of you, and hanging out with other people in your lives. But don't completely neglect it, because because you don't want to walk into a whole bunch of strangers after you get married. Familiarize yourself with them, hang out with them, do things with them, but with the purpose of getting to know them and getting to know your partner through them. Number 4, talk about the future. So important. And it's hard even in relationships where you've been together for a long time and you have this wonderful open communication going on. It's still hard to talk about some very serious future issues and plans. For example, you may be like 28, 27, and you're 4 years into your relationship, and you're now thinking about getting married, or you are getting married. You probably don't want to talk about kids. You should at least know if the person you're marrying wants to have kids, is open to having kids, or is like completely not open to the idea. So important conversations about the future, like, is there a possibility of having kids? When and how and all can be figured out later, but is there a possibility? Would it be acceptable if you said that you don't want to have kids? What if you don't want to have kids at all, and then later, 3 years after you get married, you find out that, oh, that's like not an option. So have this conversation, talk about where you're going to live. Are you going to stay in the same city all your life, or do you want to maybe in the future at some point move? Talk about a little bit about work-life balance. What's that going to be like for you? Talk about traveling, if you like that. Is that going to be a part of your life together? So these important, bigger things, it's super important to talk about them before you do the sad fadas. All right, guys, that's all.